Welcome to We Drink and We Farm Things.
This is the farm comedy podcast that is an adult happy hour for the farming community.
We drink adult beverages, talk about the ups and downs of farming things, and give zero clucks about not having the perfect farm life.
We keep it real with you and share the mistakes we've made and what we've learned so you can feel less alone in this farm thing.
We drink things, we farm things, we drink and farm things.
Oh, hey there, Sam.
Oh, hey there, Beth. What you drinking this morning?
I'm back to my coffee ways.
Oh, good. Good for you. Did you make it?
I did. I made it.
Okay.
But Jared gave me instructions yesterday.
Are we improving then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My coffee is good today. So I'm happy.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
Good. I like it.
Yep. So we're good to go. I wish I had not just brushed my teeth because it makes my coffee taste a little weird.
Yeah.
But, had to have the pearly whites for the video,
For the
YouTube. So what are you drinking over there?
I am drinking, and well, first off, out of our review mug that you can get if you leave us a review and win the drawing. But in that mug, I am drinking Pink Stork morning sickness tea.
Oh.
No, I don't have morning sickness, but I bought this when I was like incredibly nauseous, and then it got here and my nausea was not as bad anymore. So
The placebo effect.
Yes. But in the reviews were kind of hit or miss on it, but I do like tea a lot, and there's a lot of like mixed reviews on what kind of tea you can and can't drink when you're pregnant. And because I'm drinking coffee, I didn't want to have any other kind of caffeinated tea to bump that up every day. So once in a while I'll drink this because I have it. It's made with rooibos leaf and ginger. Both very good for you, safe for pregnancy. And there's also organic peach flavor and organic blood orange flavor in there too.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's ginger peach flavor, and you can get it on Amazon too. So
nice. I like it.
Look that up. Yeah.
Our drink peep this episode is our friend Ashley Kiernan, and she is at Ashley Kiernan over on the Instagram. So cheers, lady.
Cheers. All right. So today's the Minisode. We're going to go over a couple of our can't evens, a few listener can't evens, and then I have an ironic farm story to share with you all. But we'll start with can't evens first.
Good plan
of ours.
Good plan. So Sam, what's your first can't even?
So I stumbled across a famous painter called Picasso. And we'll link to the video in the show notes, and we'll put some of the video up. It's kind of long. We'll put it up in the YouTube too, to show while we're talking. But this pig is a South African resident that likes to paint. She puts the paintbrush in her mouth, or somebody puts it in there for her. There's a canvas, there's paint, and she just goes to town painting strokes on a canvas. One of her more recent pieces went to a German buyer for around $26,000, which broke the previous animal painting record of $18,000. And she has produced over 400 pieces of work since she was a piglet, and she was safe from slaughter. So she's at a safe haven where she can express her artistic abilities.
Oh my
gosh. For the
gosh.
rest of her life. The video is kind of mesmerizing to watch. It is sped up a little bit. But yeah, they kind of turn the canvas for her, maybe a couple different colors paint while she's going through it. But it looks like she just stands there and is mesmerized by her own work.
That's amazing.
Kind of weird, but I love
it. Yeah. That is so cool. Well, if someone has $26,000 lying around, maybe they can go get a Picasso.
Yeah. That probably won't be me unless I win the lottery. And then I will definitely buy some of her work if I win millions of dollars.
Yeah, I would too. All right.
Bob, so what's your can't even?
All right. Mine is an article from the New York Post, and Sam was kind enough to actually find this for me.
Because I knew it was perfect for you. I couldn't steal this one.
Yeah, it's totally up my alley. So it's a blind kitten with a seeing eye duck and other unexpected farm animals. And it's an article for the New York Post, so there'll be a link to it in the show notes. And it tells this really cute story. Well, okay, so it starts actually kind of sad. So back in Memorial Day 2020, this little black kitten was found on the side of the road in New Jersey. And it turns out she was a blind kitten and her mother had been killed by a car.
Oh, gosh.
But this kind driver grabbed the kitten and took her to a place called Funny Farm, which is a rescue place. And no animal that's in need is turned away from this rescue, which is excellent. That can't always be the case because rescues run out of room and funds and all sorts of stuff. The person who runs the rescue mentioned that the kitten, when she arrived, was pretty close to death and they were pretty sure she wasn't going to make it. But a police officer came the next day with another abandoned animal, and that animal was a duckling. So this kitten and this duckling like showed up within 24 hours of each other, and the rescue put the two orphans together because they kept each other warm. And it turns out that it just worked out really well. And the duck became the seeing eye duck for this blind little orphaned kitten.
Aww.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. The kitten's name is Hope, and the seeing eye duck's name is Jello, which is just amazing.
That's such a good duck name. Oh my God.
I know. I'm totally stealing it. If I get another duck, it's going to
yeah.
be named Jello, like for sure. Oh my gosh. And apparently it's just an adorable bond. They're like brothers and sisters and they hang out. And so it's super cool. The article is actually really long, so I won't like read the whole thing. And there's the cutest little picture of them from when they were little.
Yeah.
And then some other cute pictures of farm animals because they're an animal rescue and there's all sorts of stuff. And there's actually some other like stories in here of like adorable pairings of animals. So like if unusual animal friendships is your thing, like it's mine, you just want to like read this whole article and go through all of them.
Oh yeah, you do 100%.
Oh, but the duck and the kitten can't even.
So cute.
I need a weird farm pairing, like animal pairing on my farm. I can't believe that it hasn't happened yet.
I know. There's still so much time though. Sure. All right. My last one is kind of like a hybrid of can't even / follow-up. I think in last month's Minisode, we talked about a gentleman who received a genetically modified pig heart transplant. Unfortunately, he died. Yeah. So because if you don't recall, he was ineligible to receive a human heart transplant. So he was like, what the heck? We're going to try this genetically modified pig heart instead. Got emergency authorization from the FDA. This did prolong his life for several weeks, and the heart appeared to be functioning well, and his body showed no signs of immune rejection.
Oh, that's good. That's a good sign.
Yes. So this did help advance science, but he did pass away on March 9th. A statement was issued from the University of Maryland Medical Center. I wanted to wait a few weeks though before talking about it to see if they had established a cause of death, and they haven't quite yet, but they did. They're hypothesizing that maybe the human circulatory system was too strong for that kind of heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's an assumption that the extra pressures that the human heart has to produce to counter gravity and pump blood around as a biped, which means somebody that walks around on 2 feet, is much greater than that of a pig heart and a like a 4-legged animal. And a pig heart may simply not be strong enough to survive any human circulatory system. So
okay.
I'm sure more research to come, but this did help advance advanced science in the way of knowing how it went well and how it didn't go so well. So while it's sad, I mean, he wasn't going to make it anyways, I guess is kind of how I look at it, which is dark, but I think it's beautiful that he took a risk with the pig heart and might help a lot of people in the future.
Yeah. I had seen an article about some other pig organs that had been used for transplant also. I'll have to pull those for our next for more follow up on that, because it's actually I think that's really fascinating. I was curious. I hope that we get to follow up on this again when they find out what the cause of death was, because I'm wondering if maybe some of it too was just, whatever the health issues were that made him ineligible for a human heart might have been part of it as well. But that hypothesis is a good one to definitely test, because that's not something I would have necessarily thought about on the surface. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because there's totally a difference, and there's like the size of body and like all of those things are like, I wonder if you could send a hog heart to the gym before it gets transplanted into
Did
a
you
human
condition
to
it, make it stronger?
Yeah. I mean, because you can condition your own heart to make it stronger to withstand, more stuff.
Piggy on a treadmill for a while.
Yeah. And be like super buff pig. So, well, thanks for following up on that, because I was definitely curious.
For sure. All right. Now we're going to dive into some of your can't evens. Bev, would you like to share the first listener can't even of the month?
Yes. So our first one is from Ronica Smith. And she says, this is in my state, but not super local, about 2 hours from me. And what it is 6 chickens had caused a traffic hazard at an intersection of 2 routes in Naples. I'm assuming that's Naples, Florida.
Yes. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And animal control had to go out and take care of them. And the picture for the article is really hilarious, because these chickens are just like loose, like roosting on the dash of this animal control officer's vehicle. He's like, I'm not set up for chickens, and just threw them in the front seat. I would never.
Okay, so I was wrong. It's not Naples, Florida. It's actually Naples, Maine.
Naples, Maine. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh.
South.
Yeah, no. And I knew Ronica was from Maine because she's Smith Ridge. Yeah, she's Smith Ridge, Maine farm.
Oh, duh. Yeah. She
was
our winner too. So we should both know better.
Yeah.
I'm glad I opened the article so we didn't have to correct ourselves next week.
Me too. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you did also. Naples, Florida just automatically like came to mind.
Your brain wants to go to like a really sunny, warm, happy place, and not that Naples, Maine can't be a sunny, warm place, but it's not year round. All right. Our next can't even is from Sydney Rains Clark. And she says, this doesn't fall under hashtag can't even. It falls under hashtag WTF, but I still picked it as a can't even because it's weird. And she also calls this seriously disturbing. So she posted an article about Mike the headless chicken. So he was a male Wyandot that lived between April 20th, 1945 to March 17th, 1947. And he lived 18 months after his head was cut off.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. That's some weird
voodoo.
Yeah.
Craziness, maybe. I don't know. But on September 10th, 1945, his farmer was planning to eat supper with his mother-in-law and was sent out to the yard by his wife to bring back a chicken. Olson chose a 5.5-month Wyandot chicken named Mike. The axe removed the bulk of his head, but missed the jugular vein, leaving one ear and most of the brain stem intact. Due to Olson's failed attempt to behead Mike, the chicken was still able to balance on a perch and walk clumsily. He attempted to preen, pick for food, and crow, though with limited success. His crowing kind of consisted of a gurgling sound, I guess. But when Mike did not die, Olson decided to care for the bird. He fed it a mixture of milk and water via an eyedropper and gave it small grains of corn and worms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this led Mike into a career of touring with sideshow companies with other anomalies such as a two-headed baby. He was photographed for dozens of magazines with a feature in Time and Life magazines. And Mike was put on display to the public for a 25-cent admission cost. Remember, this is back in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the height of his popularity, the chicken's owner earned $4,500 per month, which is the equivalent in 2020 of $52,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had to click on the article to see the picture of Mike, and it is freaky.
Yes. Mike was also valued at $10,000, which in today's kind of closer to today's money is almost $1,100 or $116,000.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, in March 1947, at a motel in Phoenix, Arizona, on a stopover while traveling back from tour, Mike started choking in the middle of the night. He had managed to get a kernel of corn in his throat. The owners inadvertently left their feeding and cleaning syringes at the sideshow the day before, so they were unable to save him.
Oh,
yeah. But I mean, he had a good run.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like,
and there's a few other tidbits in this article, so click on it if you want to learn more.
I'm just like imagining, I'm looking at the picture of it right now. I'm imagining like what would have gone through your head when you realized that you went to behead the chicken and it was just still totally
no
fine.
Pun intended. What went through your head?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think my first instinct would have been to keep him around. It would have been to put him out of his misery.
Yeah. When we did chicken butchering last year, we had one kick so hard after we completely beheaded it that it popped out of the cone.
Yeah.
And it is really kind of traumatizing to watch them actually like continue to have movement even though they're gone, and kind of move around. So I think I would have been a little freaked out too, just by default. I don't know what I would do though. That is kind of cool. And they made it a business thing. So
if anyone's looking for a business idea. No, I don't.
I don't condone.
I don't condone.
PETA would be all over that.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
no.
The internet would be just all over that in general. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's not very nice to animals.
You would get canceled, I'm sure. All right, what's next?
Okay, so the next thing is a much happier chicken story.
Thank God.
So this was shared by Katie M. And this is a shared post. And the original post said, I wish I could make this up. So I'm in the drive-through line at Popeyes in Sidell, and the chicken walked in front of my car to the door trying to get in. It gets to the order screen and they built him a chicken scoop, this person had gotten to the order screen and they had built the chicken a chicken coop. Listen, y'all, I'm tired of laughing because Spam don't even know all his family got two options, spicy or mild. Don't believe me? Go gaze at the location in Sidell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so this is crazy. So there's a chicken living at Popeye's Chicken, and the people that work there or own it or whatever built him a chicken coop, essentially.
He's quite the mascot, he turned it into a good business for himself. I'm sure he gets all kinds of scraps.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's amazing.
All right. So before we wrap up today, I do have a small farm story.
I love farm stories.
Yes. So, okay, we've been recording things a little out of order, but if you listen to the chicken keeping while pregnant episode, which dropped last Friday, I kind of mentioned that I have a hard time asking for help and that I don't really think I need help. And then in the episode you're going to hear for this Friday, I flat out say, I hate people and I don't need help and I don't like help. And so we get done recording that episode that you'll hear later this week. And I go to let Timber outside. He's one of our pup users. He's sitting behind me here, taking a nap. And I don't see Fancy in our shed. I'm like, well, maybe I just can't see because the charming coop's kind of in the way of the view. So I go down the steps a little bit and look to my left, which is the complete opposite direction she should be in. And she's standing in the neighbor's yard.
Oh my God. What was she?
Like, mother. Ah!
What was she doing?
Gosh.
What, like,
she's just standing between the two trees that are literally on the property line. So I get Timber back inside. I don't even think he noticed, thank God, because if he started barking, I don't know what she would do. And so I pull on my boots and grab a loaf of sourdough bread because I'm like, she is between me and the barn. Like I can't go to the barn and get alfalfa cubes because that might spook her. So I grabbed that loaf of bread that was supposed to be for me and take it outside. And she sees me and immediately starts running like in the right direction, but she's kind of like behind the barn in the garage. So I come around the corner and see her. And then she kind of bypasses me and goes around the chicken or around the trampoline and the other chicken coop. And I'm like, okay, as long as I can keep her contained in this yard, that's going to make my life a lot easier. I need her to get to understand I have bread because that is like a high value treat to her. She doesn't get it very often.
It's her love language.
Yes. So I look over to my neighbor's driveway. They're set like way, way back. They've maybe lived there like a year. Never have talked to them. Have made jokes that I wonder if they're in a cult because everybody that drives back there has a white vehicle. So now I feel kind of bad. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
But we've never talked to him. He's getting his garbage can and I go, can you please help me? And I don't think he heard me at first. And I'm like, screw it, I'll do it myself. And then he like looks and I think he understands. And I say, yeah, can you help me? Just don't run. Do not run. Because if you run at a cow, they're likely to run away from you because they're prey animal.
Yeah.
So he slowly kind of, I should say, he kind of like walks kind of fast, but he's not running. And he did such a good job just staying behind her in a way that she wouldn't take off into the other yard where there are children playing.
Oh God.
And their mom's outside. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody's going to hate me if they go over there. Or if she gets over there. So he did such an amazing job. He's like, I'm just going to stay back since she doesn't know me. I was like, no, that's perfect. Just, and I kind of coached him to come closer when she got to the gate. Cause the gate I can get her through right now is like maybe 4 feet wide. And she has to go right by the goats. And so we managed to, after some fancy footwork, get her in there. And I was like, can you just watch her to make sure she doesn't take me out because I need to get her in this other pasture. And like, I opened that gate and she's just taking a big old dump right where the goats eat their hay.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
You ate a whole loaf of sourdough bread and now you're taking a crap in an area that's not for you to crap. And the other pasture is so like saturated with water that I kind of felt bad for her, but I'm also like, you left your very nice home with your shed. You're going to stand here until I can figure out how the hell you even got out. Because we have hot wire and until Matt comes home and can help me, because I didn't remember how to shut the electric fence off. So
yeah.
Because I'm not going to touch you that. So yeah. And I was like thanking him profusely and like, he's like, it's not a big deal. And I was like, yeah, it is. Because you saved me so much trouble. So I'm going to have to the egg production is picking up here. So I'm going to take him eggs and bake him a sourdough loaf of bread because
Oh,
I
that's
just got
such
a
a
new
great
starter
idea.
today. Yeah. So hopefully they're not like vegans or something or gluten-free, but I figured they can share it with other people if they can't eat it.
And I
Just
think
to say thank you.
they'll like the gesture. And they should like the
Yeah.
gesture no matter what. That's my
Yeah, I would hope so. But I don't know if he's had experience with animals or what, because his instincts were really good.
oh.
So I should probably at least introduce myself. I almost like yelled my name afterwards, but I was like, this is awkward enough. Like, I need to recover.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't know what exactly happened, but the bracket that holds the hot wire was broken. So, and the fence post, the T-post was kind of back a little bit. So I'm not sure if she just decided she wanted to jump or if something else had broke it, like a deer hopped over it or something. But the screw-in one, the screw-in grounded thing that you slide the wire through and wood posts, Matt took that out and it was like completely bent. So I know her body weight came down on the hot wire too.
Yeah.
So she probably got zapped somehow if her back feet were still touching when she went over, because she's got to be grounded to, but
so a flying cow doesn't get shocked.
Yeah. So we added some more T-posts to build more support behind that fence, because the T-posts from that fence, which was an existing fence, are a little farther apart than 3 feet. So we added a few more in. I found more in the garden, so I'm gonna like do the whole fence line, I think. And then Matt tightened the hot wire. I think the hot wire just got a little loosey goosey bouncy. And maybe that's what inspired her to go for a jog. And she showed up on Matt's trail cam with a timestamp of 11:50, which was like right when we were done recording.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm glad I had to take Timber outside. Otherwise,
who knows where she would have gone.
Yeah. But I could see like she kind of, because it's so wet here right now, she kind of messed up some of the neighbor's lawn. A little bit, but there's time for it to recover. And I think she was just over there eating on their pine trees.
Oh my gosh.
She's rude. And she did that last year to the other neighbors. And she started doing it to one of our trees when I was trying to get her in the pasture. So I think she was just mad that she didn't get the right amount of hay that morning or something. Or Matt's been mixing in some older hay with the newer stuff, and I think she got mad about that too. So I was like, you need to give her all the good hay until we can put in like a second and third strand. That is going to be my last attempt with her. Otherwise, she's going to live with you.
Okay. Deal.
And you have a wood fence, and maybe that'll just work better for her.
Now have to reinforce that fence. I'm lucky. Percy
put up all the hot wire.
Percy never tests our fence, knock on wood.
Knock on that.
But part of me wonders if having friends together, might help too, because they have less of a drive to wander around.
Explore.
Like cows are pretty smart when they have everything that they want and need and desire. Like Percy never tries to bust out. Like he doesn't even like try to go towards the gate when I'm putting the donkeys in and stuff. He just kind of hangs back. No,
he's a chill dude, but
he
needs a girlfriend. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they would just be friends, like for real. It'd be total friend zone for forever. But
I mean, he could still try. And then you'd know when she's in heat.
Oh.
She'll let you know when she's in heat, though. She's very loud when she wants a boyfriend. Yeah. So as we're recording this, I low-key have anxiety that she's out again. Even though like we've literally done everything we could. And I swear it had been over a year since she broke out, and I just like relaxed about it.
Yeah.
And then that happened. So it's like, okay, is this somebody's way of telling me like maybe it's not the right time for cows here? Or do I give her to the beef farmer across the road so he can try to breed her? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
it's hard. Well,
we'll see how it goes.
And when you have a baby in tow too, like everything's going to be different. Like your priorities are going to be different for quite a few years, I think.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
things that you used to be able to have the brain space to troubleshoot through will be harder. Like, you know, or they just may not feel like they're a priority at the moment. So
Right. It was so much more stressful trying to deal with that when I knew that I have a baby in my belly.
Yeah.
Like, and like she gets very excitable and very distracted when she's out like that, which is totally reasonable. I understand why she would be.
Yeah.
I don't fault her for that. She was very well behaved, but I was literally praying the whole time, like, please God, don't let her kick me or throw her horns or something. So I'm super glad like that. I had like a real guardian angel like right there that actually came and helped me. He could have ignored me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have faulted him at all. Really wouldn't have. So yeah, that is my story.
Well, and I did
Cows will be
message you, no rash decisions while you're stressed out.
Yeah, because I was looking up transport services and how much that costs and what it would take to move her across state lines if I decided to do that.
Yeah.
So we'll give her one more chance with extra fencing, extra zappy zaps, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Good plan. Good plan.
Transport services are very expensive right now.
Get gas.
Wondering. It'd probably be like $1,000.
Really? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
It might be worth it to just
like,
borrow a trailer and do it ourselves.
Or rent one.
Yeah, or rent one. I have a livestock trailers on my wish list. I should have added that to my goals.
Yeah. That is like a level up type thing for sure.
I need one real bad. All right. So just some quick housekeeping and announcements before we are done for today. Hit the subscribe button, download the episode when you listen. This helps more people like you find us. And it just helps us so much when you download the episode. If you are listening, you just have no idea.
Yes. And make sure you take a look at the show notes because you're going to find links to all the articles, our social media, our merch shop, and all the other fun things that we're doing. So until next time,
drink,
farm,
and give 0 plus.
We drink things, we farm things, we drink and